Okay, here it is, Good Friday. And even though I should probably be spending the last 15 minutes or so of this period of time between noon and 3 o'clock in, in quiet reflection, I figured that I'd share some thoughts because when I'm sitting here, I am thinking. No, it doesn't matter, if I'm doing nothing. My brain is always, always, always going, and perhaps it's not very pious to share my thoughts with the world in this quiet time of reflection, but maybe someday down the road I will want to know, what I was thinking at this point in time. This could be the last Good Friday that I take my grandma Alice to church with me. That's a very distinct possibility. We went to church together, and it was a very long service that went almost an hour and a half, and there was a wooden cross at the church, and everybody in the church walked up to it and knelt before it, and they could say a prayer or touch it, or some people were even so brave as to kiss the cross to show their appreciation for a man that lived over 2,000 years ago, that made the world a better place for so many people. So I do have a wooden cross in my room, and I spend a lot of time looking at it. And the cloth that's been on this cross for as long as I can remember has been red. Red is the color of courage, the color of strength, the color of passion. And today is the day of the Passion of the Christ. And I'm not talking about the Mel Gibson movie. I don't own that movie, but I've seen it. And maybe someday I'll buy that, and maybe on a Good Friday, years and years and years from now, hopefully I'll watch that movie, and then maybe I'll talk about that movie a little bit. But there's nothing more to say really than Jesus, is my hero. He just is. He's a guy that did what he had to do, and he made the world a better place. There's no human being that's ever lived that's talked about more than Jesus of Nazareth. And his life and his teaching, his word, his example, is something that I have tried to make my own. And I always wonder what it would be like, if Jesus was walking around in the world today. I'm sure the CIA would have a file on Jesus. They'd make sure to have someone following him around because he was a very powerful and very influential man. He'd be even more a bother than that Michael Moore guy, I'm sure. So I don't want to pretend like I'm the most what's the word, sanctimonious guy, or the holiest of holy guys. In fact, today, being Good Friday, I might have done one of the most sacrilegious things that I could ever imagine. I used Google, and I looked up on the internet, just out of kind of a morbid curiosity, with the Atkins diet and everything. I wanted to know how many calories is in the little wafer of bread that people receive for Holy Communion, that Catholics receive for Holy Communion. And it was an interesting thread because some people firmly believe that the food content of those wafers is kind of very, very marginal, and there might be a calorie, there might be a gram of carbs in that wafer. So if that's the truth, it'd be about 5 calories. So the answer that I got mostly from my research on the internet is in between 1 calorie and 5 calories. I did a video recently about my orange slices that a mystery person gave to me, and I ate one of those a day, but they're all gone now. So I wish I had the empty bag, but I must have thrown it away. And I believe there were 43 calories in each little gummy orange slice. So, and there was a day this Lent where that's all I ate the entire day, was one of those gummy orange slices. And today, the only thing that I'm going to eat is indeed the Eucharist that I had today for Good Friday Mass. So how many calories did I take in? I I believe zero. I believe zero. When the blessing is given to that simple wafer, it becomes something more. It becomes a symbol. How many calories does that sword have? I don't know. It's a symbol. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'm sure that there are scientists out there that have done tests on the bread before it is consecrated by the priest and bread after it has been consecrated by the priest. Does the calorie value of it change? You know, and maybe but that's the stuff that's going through my head right now on this Good Friday, and I'm asking myself, and I'm asking Jesus, is it wrong to be thinking about these things, these questions of faith? Because I believe that when I take that little round symbol into my body, it gives me a strength that more than 100 Red Bulls, more than all the protein bars, more than all the muscle building muscle milkshakes in the world. I feel like I could take on the world. I really do. And I have decided that I'm gonna for Christmas this year, I'm gonna ask my handy stepmother if she can make me some more strips of cloth. She's the one that made me this little hanging for my cross in my room, and I've decided that I think I need more colors. Seeing the color purple for Lent, really made me realize I need to concentrate on wisdom.